Oh hey y'all, I'm Fatty, and thanks for finding the red key card and joining me down in the bunker. And today I'm bringing you the most efficient and the fastest way to earn money in Call of Duty Warzone, and let's just jump right into it. Now, when it comes to Warzone, I really like to think there are three primary ways that you're going to get money. The number one way is just going to be finding it on the ground, walking around, you're going to see piles, pick it up, cha-ching, you got it. The number two method is going to be killing other players, and you don't really get money for taking down those other players, but you can take their money once you take them down, and that's another reason, or another method. And the final way is going to be doing contracts. Now, contracts are going to be the number one method that you're going to do to actually receive money, and there's going to be some variation in the different perks that you get for doing it, the amount of money, and whatnot. But I really broke it down into just the four different ones, what you're going to get out of it, how much you're going to get, and really the risk and reward on that. And let's start with Recon. Recon is going to be the first one I cover on this list because it is going to be the least risk and least reward in my opinion for it. You only get 1,000 for doing it every time. Now you do get a bonus anytime you do any of the contracts. The first time you complete a mission, you get the 0% bonus. For the second one, you'll get a 40% increase on the cash you get. The third one, you'll get an 80% increase in cash. And the fourth one, you'll get a 120% increase on the cash. Now that increase on cash does continue just to grow by 40%. So if you happen to, do 20 of them, you would do 200% on that. Recon is going to be the lowest one on the list just because people don't tend to go for them very often just because you only get the 1,000. Now, people have been flocking to them a little bit more recently because I think players are just kind of actually discovering that when you complete a Recon, it shows you the next circle that you have, which is incredibly useful, so that people are starting to get that more. But really, you're not going to be able to loot while you're doing this. You're just going to be able to run to one place and get it, so that's going to really minimize the amount of cash you're able to get while doing it. Now, you can always send off one teammate for a few minutes just to go there by himself and sit there and get it while the other teammates are kind of looting around and covering him a little bit, because it doesn't go any faster if you have like 4 people on your team sitting on the point rather than just one person. So you got to really kind of think risk versus reward and the best way to utilize this in the fastest method possible. So this one is fine if you want to know the next circle, but it doesn't really help you increase your odds of getting more money in the shortest amount of time possible. So the next one I really want to talk about on the contract list is Eliminations and how it is complete and utter hot garbage. I absolutely hate doing this one. You're not going to really get much out of this one. You're going to get 2,600 if you complete it, but there are two major caveats I just absolutely hate about this one. One, the time you have is a little longer, so if you don't get there immediately or they start to run, you're just locked down in this contract for a while. The second one is, they have as much of an idea where you're kind of at as you do where they're at, and that just makes it really more difficult on your end. Like, none of these other ones, besides the Most Wanted, really puts a target on your back or makes it really difficult or super noticeable for anybody else what you're doing, so you can kind of fly under the radar, keep doing your thing, and then move on. With the elimination one, someone's going to know exactly where you are, your target. Maybe not exactly, but, they know the general area. If you get close, the threat meter goes up and people start getting real wonky and real sketchy when that happens, and it's just really not worth it. It's not worth the risk, it's not worth the time, it's not worth the energy, it's just complete hot garbage, so don't bother with it. And let's talk about one of the other ones. So along those same lines, we are going to talk about the Most Wanted contract, which is going to be one of the newer contracts added to Warzone. I think it was just added at the beginning of Season 4, if I'm not mistaken. And this one is really good. I don't think this is always the most practical one to start out with. You will get $3,000 upon completion of this, and that is really nice. It does put a target on your head that literally every single player in the entire map can constantly see, which blows. I absolutely hate it. It tracks you constantly too, and it updates on like mini maps really fast. So like people are going to know your location all the time. Now you don't have to survive for that long before you get the 3,000, which is really nice. And the cream of the crop, the real reason why to do this one is it gives you a team revive. So if you only have like one player left on your team or 2 players left, the Most Wanted contract is amazing because you can complete that. You get a little bit extra cash to help you guys get back on your feet, and it's amazing for that reason. But now, if you're just starting off a game and you really want to maximize like what you're gonna get and how much money you're gonna get, so you can get the loadout drops, arm box, ammo crates, stuff like that, kill streaks, you aren't going to really want to start out with this one. Now, if you even lose one player and you don't want to spend your money and you have a team of 3, like a helicopter or something maybe, or one of the armored trucks that you can just like blow through the map really fast, it might not be the worst option in the world to get one of these ones earlier in the game, because you could just kind of do about your own thing. Or if you're in a team of, let's say, 4, one player is down, You can send 2 players to kind of loot if you have a helicopter again, or like the armored truck, and you can have one person just kind of baiting themselves around, trying to get that one player to revive while the other players are still looting, getting set up a little bit. And then you can maximize the cash as well as being efficient. When it comes to Warzone, really, it's going to be about how you can get a lot of money really fast so you can get the loadout drop. Getting your perks and your loadout is going to be number one. So you really want to find out the best way to maximize this. And for me, the next one that we're going to talk about, the scavenger contract, is going to be absolutely gold for doing this. Now, before we jump into that last and final way and the most efficient possible method for earning the most dollars in Call of Duty Warzone, I just want to remind you guys, thanks so much for making it this far into the video. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. I stream twice a week on Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Mountain Time, as well as 2 videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Please swing by and check it out. If you've been here for a while and you want to support the channel, we just we made the join button down below where you get some exclusive content, chances to make videos with me, as well as exclusive Discord, stuff like that. Come check that if you're so inclined to do so. Thanks, guys. Since you made it this far into the video, I will tell you the #1 way to get the most money in the shortest amount of time possible with these contracts. Now, the best one to do is going to be Scavenger. Now, the reason why this one is absolutely by far the best by any far stretch of the imagination possible is because, one, you don't have any contracts, like you have no bounty or anything marking your location where anyone else can know. There's no flare in the sky, nothing, so you're completely under the radar. 2, you get $2,000, which is definitely good. Compared to the other ones, it's like the middle range, so it's not too difficult, but it's not too low either. The third one is if you have absolutely nothing and you just spawned in, you can find a scavenger, and when you pick that up, each box is going to open up and you're going to have lots of different things in there, and that is going to be enough to sustain you to keep going after more scavengers. So the very first box you open, you're definitely going to find a gun in there at least to help protect yourself, and you usually find armor, if not like tactical equipment, anything like that, as well as 9 times out of 10, I swear, I find at least $500 cash. And there's going to be 3 of these chests, so by that time you're going to be stocked up. You're going to have, additional maybe 1,500, if not more from that. So on top of the 2,000, you're going to get at least, I guarantee, 1,000. So that's going to turn that into 3,000, as well as getting gear and having to not worry about having a target on your back. Now, to be completely honest and transparent with you, the only issue I have run into with this one is the scavengers, especially right off the bat, are highly, highly sought after. So a lot of times you are going to have to get into that very beginning game conflict. So if you're not comfortable with that, I would make sure to find a scavenger that's not anywhere near the circle. Try to get far off and jump early as possible. I find higher end tier players seem to stay in the plane longer towards the end and get those same scavengers I'm talking about, but not right off the bat. So if you can, when you first get on the plane, find the closest one to your drop that's outside the circle if possible, and then go for that one, and that is going to maximize the amount that you can get. These only really take like 2 minutes to complete at most if you're just going from one to the other. And if you have a team, you can kind of spread out and conquer a little bit to kind of share the loot as well. And it's gonna earn you so much money so fast, you're not even know what to do with all of it. And that is why this is gonna be like the #1 method by far. Well, thank you guys as always for watching. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to do 2 streams a week, Monday and Fridays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, so look out for that. Usually the day before or that morning of, I'm going to post a poll on the community tab for you guys to choose what we're streaming, or as well as like when I'm playing. A lot of times I hop on with other people on my private server as well, so if you guys want that information's down in the link also in the description below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya!
Don't worry, guys.
Get him, buddy. Nice.
Surviving earns the redeployment. Enemy UAV.
I left a claymore on the stairs.
Final deployment. Relocating
Nice.
signal.
There's a guy over here by the planes.
over here where I just
Move it.
marked.
I laid a fresh mine on the stairs, and then I